Howdy folks, Kirk and Jay here with Kirk Giordano Plastering. Got another tip of the day for you folks who wonder how to do a radius. The fella here, the homeowner, he says, well, I'm doing an addition in the back. He says, Kirk, can you fix these? I said, sure. And he says, well, do you have a tool that has got this radius and you can hold mud and bend it up? And I said, no, I don't. But I can imagine what you're talking about. That's kind of clever. But we don't need that. What I said was, well, Jay will mix it. And Jay's on the camera right now. Jay works with me all the time as a licensed plasterer too. And without him mixing good mud for me, I couldn't do what I do. I make it look easy because I have good professionals who mix the mud well. Mud is another word for plaster, stucco, even interior. We call it mud. Mud. This is mud. This is just cement. Okay. So for something like this, I told Jay, I said, hey, if you're going to mix it a little rich. Why? Because if we put stucco on a hawk and we take it off and we go sideways, what'll happen? It'll fall and we won't be able to get none on the actual column. Now, because this is a radius, I'm going to use somewhat of a centrifugal force. You might want to call it centrifugal. There's that pretty word, centrifugal. Centrifugal, where I'm going to take the mud off, and as it's on my trowel, I'm going to hit it. And with that so-called centrifugal force, it'll stay on. Now, if I put it on my hawk and I go up, gravity is going to pull it straight down. So, centrifugal, that pretty word. Okay, we take some of the mud. It's somewhat rich. I start from the bottom. Now, you won't be able to see this so-called motion, but you'll get an idea. Okay, I'm gonna put some mud on the hawk, and I'm gonna come around. Now, because if I hold it like this, that's how rich it is. Here it is. That's how rich it's got to be. Just like ceilings, we want it richer. But I take it and I put it on, and it'll stay on because of that so-called motion. We take it, and we're following the radius. And by the way, guys, if you have something like this and you want to follow the radius, it's not that big of a deal if you know how. It seems like it's an intricate type of thing, but it's not. And two, I use weldcrete, and folks always ask me this. This is why I'm pointing this out. I'm using weldcrete as a bonding agent. They have a float finish which is similar to the house right here. That's what we're going to match, and he's got maybe 20 coats of an elastomeric paint or primer on it. I know because it's like rubber. So you guys won't find this at Home Depot or Lowe's. Get this, it's the same stuff. I like this because it's for us professionals. It's sold at the plastering material yard, but they don't sell this bonding agent at Home Depot or Lowe's yet. Not until these videos become more popular. Then Larson's will start selling it, probably at Home Depot. For the meantime, Quikrete works. I say that and get off the subject of what I'm doing because I already know a lot of folks are going to call me and say, Kirk, I can't find that bonding agent. So I'm going to get back to what I started here. Now, when I get a little bit over here, that pillar is going to be in the way, but you notice I go in an upward type of motion. I put it on, I go flat, and I take it upward, just like so. And you can go back over it and smooth it out. Smooth it out just like so. And if you drop any, big deal. Pick it up. Okay. It's only this one side right here that's bad. Now, the same motion. You throw it just like that. Let's put on 2 more hawkfuls and finish this up. Now I'm going to show you guys how we float it out. What does floating mean? That just brings out the aggregate. I want to bring out the sand in what we're doing here. Okay, so I'm going to finish this little area right here. And why does this happen, guys? Well, a lot of reasons. The sun has been on this for possibly 90 years, and it beats it up sometimes, guys. If you don't properly maintain your health or your wall, it'll get a little beat up. You should paint your stucco, at least if it's a painted house to begin with, paint it every 10 years for the maximum longevity. If you have a color coat maintenance free house, you never have to paint those, but that's another story, another subject entirely. Okay, so we are following the radius. And I actually have one bit right here too. I'm going to hit this while I'm here. Okay, now that we've got our coat of cement on there, we take a green sponge float. These are very popular. They're green and they're sponge and they just have a handle. So what does it do? It brings out the sand or the aggregate. Sand. Aggregate's a fancy word for sand or rocks. I actually had a blue sponge float that I deal a lot with this company. They sent me a few of these. Said, hey Kirk, try these out, see what you think. I thought, okay, they got holes on them. These accumulate with sand and I always have to pound them out. They say these are not supposed to, so it's my first time using it. Let's give it a shot. So the idea is, what I'm doing is I'm going in an upward arc. So I'm bringing the sand out. You see, that's the aggregate is the sand. So I turn my float around now and I continue doing that fancy little motion. I don't notice much of a difference in this prettier float with the holes, but this is my first time using it. I will have to put some time in to see. It is narrower. It's a narrower one. You know, personally, give me one with a little more width. This one's fatter, so I'm going to use it. All right, now right here, I'm going to float the same thing. And what I'm doing is going in an upward motion, and now this float is full. So if I keep going, it drags. So I flip it around, and I just float it. And what I'm going to do is give it the original finish that it had. How many finishes are on this right now? About 10. Which one do I match? Well, I guess I'd take my choice of which one I match. I'm going to give it the finish that it's more than likely to look good when it's painted. So another move you see me doing, guys, is I'm taking the float and I'm dipping it in this bucket and I'm clearing out some of the aggregate because the sand fills this up, and it's not very effective when the sand fills it up. It fills up the grooves. So I'm going to come here and just, I'm following the radius, guys. Following the radius. This is not so much of that centrifugal or centrifugal force because it's already on. I don't have to go in an arc or a swinging motion. All I'm doing now is matching their original finish. So I'm going to take one last time here, and this is done, guys. I can make it a little prettier and remove some of the aggregate. If you have too much sand showing and you don't want that much, simply dry your float out. Hit it against the wall, hit it against the bucket. The drier the float, the less sand is going to come out. That's a simple thing that takes practice. Okay, I got the last piece here. So I'm going to float it. And what you don't see is I'm not using my edge, I'm not using the toe or the heel, I'm using the center of the float. Use the center and go flat. Like you snowboarders, when you want the speed, you go more flat. Dangerous too. But I'm using the flat surface. And you go into the joints, guys. Go into the joint. Anyway, there's no special tools that are necessary to stucco or render a so-called radius. We use the same exact tools that we spread a wall with, guys. It's just a matter of mastering your tools, and again, I make it look a little bit easier because I got good guys to help me mix and keep everything pretty. So these guys mix well for me. I can make this stuff look easy. If I started off with a soupy mud, meaning as soon as I grab it, it all falls, then I wouldn't look as easy as I make it appear. So you guys try to do this yourself. There's a lot of tips in there if you could utilize them and figure out which ones are good for you. Most of you folks who watch what I do and say, Hey, gee, Kirk, I tried, I can't do it. That's because you're mixing your own material too. It's hard enough to learn how to do this. Sometimes it takes guys 15 to 20 years, but to mix too takes another 10 years to do it right, to know how to mix all these materials properly. Anyway, my name is Kirk. Jason on the camera. As usual, we thank you for watching. We'll see you guys on the next one. Once again, folks, we thank you for watching, and I really enjoy all your comments.
If you guys like this video, please click the like button down below, and also if you enjoy what we do, subscribe to our channel so we can keep making these videos for you.
My name is Kirk.
And Jay.
We thank you for watching, and from the entire Giordano family, we'll see you on the next one.